Hey gang, Jim Farmer here. It's Friday afternoon. It's probably about 4 o'clock, February 3rd. I'm coming back in now. It's post-run out here. It's cold, it's windy, northwest wind, blowing like crazy today. So I was just kind of plinking around, seeing if I could find a few fish. But I wanted to show you guys what I used this week to catch my fish. Probably the best thing I used this week was dragging the Keitech and the Cast Company Prodigy. Now this is a spot choker underspin. I was using that with a 2/8 Keitech, dragging that on the bottom and getting some this week. Or I was just using a regular jig head with the Keitech, 2/8 Keitech, getting them that way. Another way I was getting them was Cast Company Prodigy with a little jig head on it, quarter ounce jig head. This is kind of a green fluorescent Prodigy, but I've got about 4 different colors that I've used to catch fish. I used this one today just a little bit, but man, I really like these Prodigies. They got good action. They got a big wide tail on it. It gives it great action. So the Prodigy baits from Cast Company, great baits, and thanks to Ryan for hooking me up with some of the baits this week. So that was kind of the bottom ditch deal. You know, you're either dragging a 1/4 ounce underspin or dragging something like a 1/4 ounce just little jig head, Damiki head with a 2/8 Keitech or a 3-inch Prodigy. So that was probably the best one. Caught the most fish on that this week, that pattern there. Second best pattern was 5-inch stick worm on shaky head. This is K-Bad Baits, Kevin Badgett's custom craw. He made this after I sent him a picture. I showed him a picture of a Chattahoochee craw that I found in a fish's mouth this week. He made this bait, so I took it out there this week and I used it. Love it. It's 5-inch. It's got craw colors on it, same as the Chattahoochee craw. Kevin did a great job with these baits, and this is the 5-inch. So next, I'll tell you, sometimes this time of year, you gotta really size things down. I mean, whether it's a swim bait or a spoon or a worm. I'm gonna tell you guys, here's one that I've been using for a couple of years now and I really like, and that's a Z-Man, a big TRD. That's the big TRD right there, and this is PB&J. A friend of mine a couple years ago turned me on to the PB&J big TRD, and I've been using it ever since. I've been using it with Z-Man makes a shaky head jig head. This is the one I like. I love the collar on it. These worms that Z-Man have, these are Elastec. They're not Plastisol, so they're a little bit softer. And this jig head right here, this shaky heads jig head from Z-Man 1/4 ounce, it works great with these Elastec baits. So I used that 4-inch a good bit this week, as well as Kevin's 5-inch, but this is PB&J, and it's probably my favorite on Lanier. Probably my second favorite is Junebug. I know that Junebug is kind of a largemouth type bait, but I'll tell you, on Lanier, it's one of my biggest secrets. Junebug right here, you can see it kind of turns purple in the sun. I mean, it looks purple to me, but if I take it out of the sun, it's black, and it's got a lot of flake on it. You can see the flake. Look how far these things stretch. They're so soft. But this has got a lot of flash in it, too. On a sunny day like today, it's good to use that. So that's another bait that I used this week, and that's the 4-inch Z-Man big TRD. Another one is the spoon, the silver spoon. Used that a lot in the ditches this week, and this is a War Eagle silver spoon. I've talked about it a lot, and you've seen it in my videos. Used it today and caught some fish on it today. And last but not least, I use a Ned rig, and this is a little I guess you'd call it a little Ned bait that K-Bad made for me, and it's another crawfish pattern, and that's one I used this week too and caught fish on that, and that's 3-inch, so it's sized down to 3-inch. So this week I'm using a 3, a 4, and a 5-inch worm, but I think the smaller, the shorter worms worked a little better than the 5-inch. So that's the baits that I used this week. Oh, there's one other one I wanted to tell you about too. If you're looking for a good crankbait, this one right here is DT10, Rapala DT10, and I got to tell you something about this one. This is a craw pattern DT10. I think about 6 years ago in a BFL, I had a top 20 finish, and all I did was I threw this all day long, and I caught 5 fish, and I got a nice check in the BFL in February, and I was just throwing this. I threw it all day, caught 5 fish, came in, weighed my fish, got a check. I think I had like 16 pounds, 15, 16 pounds or something like that. But this is the craw pattern DT10, and it's one that I use all the time, and I've got it tied on and on the deck. I threw it today, but I was hoping that I'd get some in that wind, you know, kind of beating the bank with this thing, but I wasn't able to get any today. But it's a good bait, and I recommend it. I mean, it's made me money before. It's a great one for Lake Lanier, and it's always been a good bait. I think I've even got a couple of videos out there on my YouTube page. But anyway, that's the ones that I use this week. It's cold out here, the fish are slow, and hopefully things are going to pick up. So talk to you next week.